Hey, back again, same day, doing this video right after the other one. You didn't really need to know that, but I just felt like sharing. So, hopefully you're good. I'm good since the last 5 minutes ago, since I recorded. So Tuesday, today we are going to go through homework 3. Hopefully yesterday you learned a lot about vertex form and a lot about transformations. So we're going to get a little bit more into that today. Technically, this is homework. You guys should be doing it on your own, but I want to do as much as I can to make sure that you understand vertex form transformations moving forward. Okay, so we're going to get started on homework number 3. Again, today I will be opening up your Math Excel in Vision, which has a lot to do with vertex form and transformations. So I really, really need you to understand what's going on here. So let's get started. Homework 3, hopefully you have it on your packet, is here. We want to, the directions say to graph each equation and give the axis of symmetry, vertex, domain, range, then identify the transformations from the parent function. Okay, so vertex form, this looks a little dark. I don't know if I'm going crazy. So vertex form, this one's not in vertex form. We kind of figured out that if something's not in vertex form, doesn't have a b, that means my x value is going to be 0 for my vertex, and my y value is going to be whatever I get when I plug 0 in, which is, in this case, -3. All right? So we're going to go 2 to the left, -1, -2, 2 to the right, and start plugging in. So remember, if this is a negative outside of any parentheses, we do not include it in the squaring. So this becomes -1 minus 3, which equals -4. Okay, and then if we plug in 2, we get -2 squared minus 3, -4 minus 3, which is -7. Okay, so 0, -3, -1, -4. Oh, it's going down. Are we sure it has to? Yes, because this is negative. Then we've got 2, -7. So 1, 2. This is 4, so 5, 6, 7. Why can I do that? Because I know I spaced these two out correctly. Okay, so our axis of symmetry we know is whatever the x value of our vertex is, which is 0. And as we can see, we graphed it. We know that it is 0. Our vertex is 0, -3. Our domain is all real numbers. Our range, remember our range, if it's opening down, it's less than or equal to whatever that y value is. And let's talk about transformation. So from the parent function, again, the parent function is always at the origin going up. And this one, since we know it's negative from before, it's being reflected. And we know that it's the k that's moving, so it's also shifted down 3. So we're going to try to identify, let's actually do the next one based on just the equation, and then we'll check it by the graph. So with our equation, I can tell that there's no vertical movement because there's nothing added or subtracted at the end. Oh my gosh, there's no reflection, there's no stretch or compression. All there is a horizontal movement. Now remember, what is that horizontal movement telling us? Marco, you're messaging me so much. Okay, so once you see that it has horizontal movement, you know it's plus, but plus doesn't mean to the right, it actually means to the left. So in this case, we know that it is going to be left 5. And let's double check to make sure that we're right when we get back. Not when we get back, when we graph. So vertex is going to be -5 as our x value, 0 as our y because we don't have a k. And then we're going to plug in. So to the left of -5 comes -6, -7, -4, -3. Okay, we can fill in our vertex and our axis of symmetry if we want. We know our domain, and we actually know our range. It's going to be opening up, so it's greater than or equal to 0. So -5, 0, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yes, we moved left 5, so we were correct in our assumption here. Okay, I don't know why I started graphing before I filled in the table. That's all right. Negative 4 plus 5 is 1. 1 squared is 1. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2. 2 squared is 4. All right, so this was negative 5, so negative 6, 1, which means it's going to be negative 4, 1, and negative 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, there's our parabola. Okay, so we were correct in assuming that we moved left 5. It didn't reflect, it didn't shift up or down, has no compression or stretch because we know that there's no A here. All right, let's try to assume or predict this one. Is there going to be a reflection? No, because there's no negative. Is it going to be a stretch or a compression? No, because A is 1. So none of that. But I do see parentheses and I do see a K. So I see an H and a K, so I know it's going to be a moving, we can write translate. Again, translate means shift, so it's translated 2 to the right. Because remember, when it's minus on the inside, it's going positive, and 6 down. Let's double check if we're correct. So I know my vertex is going to be 2, negative 6. And if we fill in 2 to the left of that is going to be 1 and 0, 3, 4. My vertex is 2, negative 6. Axis of symmetry, x equals 2. Domain, all real numbers. Range, y, greater than because it's going up, and then our y value is negative 6. All right. So if we plug in 1, we get negative 1 squared, which is 1. 1 minus 6 is negative 5. We plug in 0, negative 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 6 is negative 2. And again, same. So 2, negative 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, negative 5. So if that was 2, this is 3 going up. That means this is 1, negative 5. 0, negative 2. And 4, negative 2. Didn't quite make it through that point. That's okay. So again, were we correct? Yes. No reflection. It just moved right 2 and down 6 from that origin. Okay, let's predict this one. Oh, we see a negative, so I'm predicting a reflection, and I'm predicting horizontal and vertical movement. So it was translation, or translated, 1 left or right. Good, it's plus, so that means 1 left, and I know it's going to be 4 down. Let's take out that vertex. So negative 1, negative 4, and then we're going to the left, so negative 2, negative 3, 0, 1, and let's start solving. If you want, we can plug this in. And then our range, since it's going down, it's going to be y is less than or equal to negative 4. So plugging in 0, we get 1 squared, which is 1, but then a negative. So negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. We plug in 1, we get 2 squared, which is 4. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. Negative 1, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, negative 2, negative 5. That means 0, negative 5. 1, negative 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, sorry. 1. Move it over 1. And here's the parab. Okay. We're good. It reflected. It went 1 to the left because it's supposed to be here, and then we went 1 left, and we went down 4. Good job, guys. Okay, we've got 2 more graphs, and then the most important part is numbers 7 through 15 at the end is what I want to go through. So, all right, so let's predict the transformation. So since this is less than 1, what did we say happens when something is less than 1? Something is less than 1. I'm trying to get proof for you. I know it. I just want to make sure you know it. Oh, it's helpful because it's on the back of this sheet. Duh. All right, when it's less than 1, because we've got a 1/3. Sorry, yeah, less than 1, greater than 0, it is a compression. So it gets wider. So it's a compression by a factor. So we can write by a factor of 1/3. What else? We have horizontal movement since it's inside the parentheses, and since it's negative, we think opposite, so positive. So it's moving to the, so translated what? Right 4. Good. So this graph should be a wide little thing that's opening up and move to the right 4. So our vertex is going to be 4, 0. Axis of symmetry, x equals 4. Domain, again, always all real numbers. And my range is going to be, it's opening up greater than or equal to my y value. So I'm going to the left of 4, 3, 2, 5, 6. And so 6, 2 squared is going to be, no, I hate fractions so much. Let's plug in a 3. So y equals 1/3 times 3 minus 4 squared. 1/3 times, I'm just going to write 1 squared, or just 1, because 3 minus 4 is -1, -1 times -1 is 1, 1/3. So this one's going to be 1/3 if we plug in a 3, or 0.3. That's going to be fun, huh? Ooh, yes. If we plug in a 2, or a 6, doesn't matter. If we plug in a 6, let's say, 1/3 times 2 squared, which is 4, gives us 4/3, or 1.3. All right, yes. So 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. And then we've got 5 and 1/3. Oh my God, kill me. And then we've got 6 and 1.3. And that's the best it's going to get at this point. You did the same, hopefully, we're on the same boat here. If you graph this on Desmos, it would be the same idea, but obviously more precise. So was this graph wider? Yes, by a factor of 1/3, obviously, because 1/3 is here. It was also translated 4 to the right, so we're good. And then look at this big guy. So let's start in the beginning. So we're predicting a reflection. Now, is this going to be a compression or a stretch? Since it's greater than 1, it has to be a stretch by 2. I'm moving to the, and it's also translated. Translation means a move of 3 left and 7 up. So this one has all of them. All transformation. Okay. So our vertex here is going to be -3, 7. Axis of symmetry, x equals -3. Domain, all real numbers. Range, it's opening down, so it's less than or equal to 7. All right, to the left, -4, -5, -2, -1. So let's plug in. I'm going to do this mentally. Ready? Plug in -1. That means 2. -1 plus 3 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 times -2 is -8 plus 7, -1. Did I plug in -1? Yeah, -1, -1. -2. -2 plus 3 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 times -2 is -2 plus 7 is 5. Okay, -3, 7, -1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, -4, 5, so 7, 6, 5, And you know when it's a stretch because this kind of looks more like a triangle than a U shape when you first graph those first 3 points. And then this is going to be -5, -1. And you also know that there's a lot of space between those points versus like obviously up here it's very close, where up here it's very far away from the initial points. All right, so reflected, check. Stretch, definitely. Move 3 to the left and then up 7. Good. All right, so without graphing, now here's the keywords for us. Without graphing, good, because we hate graphing more than anything. Let's describe the transformations. And luckily, we've been practicing that. So no reflection, no stretch, no compression, because A is a +1. I see a movement in the parentheses, so that means I'm shifting. I'm going to start using the word translate to the right 2 and down 1. Because if it's minus in the parentheses, you are moving to the right. And if it's minus as your K, you're moving down. Okay, I see no parentheses here, so I know that there's no horizontal movement. However, I do see a 4 in front of my x squared term. That's A. So if A is equal to 4, A is greater than 1, so what does that mean? That means that there is a stretch by 4. And then there's also, what does this mean right here? This is like our constant at the end. So I'm also going down 5. All right, I see my A is changed. I see a negative, so I know it's reflected. I see a 1/2. So since A is 1/2, that means that it is greater than 0 but less than 1. That means it is a compression by 1/2. And I also know I have horizontal movement because I have parentheses, and I'm also going to the left 1. Okay. So now we're given this, now we have to write an equation. So it's basically the opposite of what we did here. So it's reflected and then translated, and then we've got left or horizontal movement. So I know I need y equals a negative and my parentheses because I have horizontal movement. I know x is going here. Since it's going left, I want a +6. And that's that. Okay, number 11, it's 1 right, 5 down. So we need y equals parentheses because there's no stretch, compression, or reflection. So x, 1 unit right means -1, and 5 down means -5 at the end. Okay, we have a vertical stretch but no reflection. And then we have no horizontal movement, so we don't need parentheses in number 12. Okay, so we have y equals 3 x squared because there's no horizontal, so no parentheses. Then translated 4 units up, all it means is +4. Okay, I see a reflection and a compression in number 13, but no horizontal or vertical movement, so I know I don't need parentheses. So y is going to be equal to -1/4 x squared. That's it. Reflection, compression. That's it. Number 14, reflection, no compression or stretch. We also have a horizontal, so I know I need parentheses. So y equals a negative parentheses x. I'm going 8 left, so it's +8 squared, and then 3 up means +3. And then finally, it's a stretch, a reflection, and then down. No horizontal, so no parentheses. Y equals a -5/2 x squared -3. And that's it. This is so fun. I love it. All right, guys, so make sure you can get started. If you'd like to, please get started on your Math Excel tonight. Do as many as you can possibly do until, you either need some help and you're waiting for tomorrow's video, or you just kind of want to chill until Friday. All right? So thanks for watching. Hope you have a lovely day. Bye.